All right, so let's look at some more housing data that says we're all doom and gloomed. The forbearance rate increased for the first time since June to 5.48%.
Wait. What? It was okay. So it was down at 2%, is what you're saying.
Oh, what do you think it was down? Are you guessing 2% was the previous, and now it's all the way up to 5.48%? Is that?
I may know the answer to this, but it was down at 2%, right, Ray?
Is that so? That's what you're assuming. I'm just gonna keep.
Yeah. I'm assuming that it was down there, and now it's way up, and there's been this crazy jump in forbearance claims.
Well, Dan, you would be wrong.
Oh man.
The mortgage forbearance rate has moved up for the first time in 5 months. It's way up from 4.7%. From 5.47% to 5.48%. So it's a pretty massive increase.
Is that increase enough to write a story about, Ray?
It's always increased enough to write a story about, Dan. How else will we get people to click? But let's take a look at it, because the article, I mean, that's the brunt of the article. It talks about this 10 basis points. That's not much of an increase, right?
It is. So, that's 10 basis points, or 1/100th of a percent.
Isn't that 10 basis points, or is that?
Yeah. Wait. One basis point is 0.1.
What? It's 0.01. So it's
right. So that's 10.
It's a tenth of a basis point.
Is it less? Or is it...
Yeah, it's less.
Yeah, it's the other way. It's a tenth of a basis point.
All right. So
Fannie and 100th of a percent.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at the article now, so you guys can kind of see it. The Federal Housing Administration gained 3 basis points to 7.73 in the forbearance portfolio. Private labeled securities, the PLS has increased 10 basis points to 8.48. And then it said the percentage of loans in forbearance independent mortgage bank servicers remained unchanged for the week prior, 5.94%. So for the most part, the economy has not moved that much in it. They're saying that a lot of the people that went into forbearance, 21.32%, were in the initial phase, which is right here, and then the 1.92 or forbearance re-entries. So they estimate that somewhere around 2.7 million people are in forbearance.
That's the interesting
some
stat,
type of
the re-entry.
Yeah, some type of mortgage forbearance is that 2.7 million.
Right.
And let's see. Oh, so this was the part that I think deserved the consumer awareness, I guess. So we'll be on an awareness kick. This is the part that kind of deserved that consumer awareness.
But don't change any premiums based on our making this aware, okay? Just don't.
Right. So last week, Fret and Tony urged borrowers to contact their servicers for relief and access to options. However, for the third week in a row, the number of borrowers who did not make all of their monthly payments and exited forbearance without a loss mitigation plan in place rose to 12.9% from 12.8% the week prior. That number encompasses those who have exited forbearance from the period of June 1 through November 1. So basically, they've had of the people that are leaving forbearance, 12.9% of them had no loss mitigation plan in place. In other words, they had no we're going to pay it back like this or add it on to the back of the loan or anything. And I thought that was really interesting. If you are struggling, if you're out there and you don't, maybe you lost your job, you're not making your mortgage payment or whatever, contact your mortgage company. And then talk to them about the different forbearance options, because there are a lot of options out there, even if you've been through the forbearance process. And you don't have a plan in place to pay that back. You need to put that plan in place, and you can only do
remember, that. They don't want to foreclose on you. They don't want that. They want you to be able to do it. And I remember I wasn't in the real estate business, but I remember people going through the crash, and it was, people writing letters to their bank saying, "Hey, how can I just modify? I can afford this much. Can we modify?" And then, right. They're going to give you options. I mean, it's in their best interest, really.
I mean, if you remember, Clayton Fernando Shrimps brings up a good point. There were companies that you would just call and ask, and they'd put you right on it.
Yeah, I want to know that stat. What was the oops stat?
Yeah,
because you just call in and go, "Hey, I had a question about forbearance." Boom, you're on forbearance. No, I don't want that.
Forbearance. So
you got forburned.
We need to put up that commercial, by the way. Okay, so Clayton Fernando Shrimps said, "Did Wells Fargo force more people onto it again?" Yeah, that's the big question. And 0.01% is huge. says Melissa Mara.
Huge.